the congregation.
Oh, hi. I just have a question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
Okay.
Do you have a minute?
Sure, yeah. Huh?
Go ahead.
Thanks. Well, I've been researching some about Jehovah's Witnesses. A while back, someone asked one of my daughters to study with them, so I became really interested in it. One thing I noticed was the connection. There seems to be such a close connection between Jehovah himself and the Watchtower organization, the way they kind of portray it. And I was just wondering if you could leave the organization without leaving Jehovah.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Oh, well, that's up to the person themselves, you know what I mean? And their relationship with how they view the Bible. I mean, because if the Bible is, if they understand the Bible to be authority, and they understand that they're under the authority of Jehovah and his organization on earth.
Okay, so can you leave the organization without leaving Jehovah?
Well, yeah, you can. You can do that, uh-huh.
And you could still have a relationship with Jehovah if you leave the organization? Why do they call it leaving Jehovah then in their literature?
Oh, the brothers, you mean?
No, the Watchtower writings call it leaving Jehovah.
Oh, okay. First, if a person leaves the organization, that's because they're leaving his organization, right? According to the Bible's principle. You understand what I mean by that?
I do understand, but I've never seen that the Watchtower organization is actually in the Bible. I've read it since I was, young.
Well, the Watchtower organization is only the company behind it.
I mean Jehovah's Witnesses then, whatever you want to call it. I've never seen that. I would think it would be really plain, for anybody to see if that was true. But so you're affirming that anyways. I just wanted to see if I'm understanding that correctly. So once you're in, you can't have any relationship with Jehovah if you leave.
Well, that's up to people who have been in this fellowship, who have left and still come back. So that relationship is always there if the person wants to return to his organization.
Yeah, no, I wasn't asking about coming back. You keep kind of changing like what I'm asking. I said, can you have a relationship with Jehovah still if you leave the organization? Or is it the same thing essentially as leaving? You have left Jehovah if you leave the Watchtower, the organization, right?
Okay. Okay. If a person leaves, remember where Jesus is where Joel's organization is. So remember when Jesus says, "Where there are two or more or three gather in my name," that's where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So where's that? That's the organization himself. That's the congregation that he's in charge of. So if you leave the organization, then you leave Jesus along as with Jehovah.
Oh wow. Okay. I just wanted to confirm that, and so that's why they say return to Jehovah is the same as return to the organization. So it's like kind of like the organization is kind of like Jehovah. There's no difference.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
It kind of makes the organization to practically be Jehovah. That's really interesting because I don't know any other Christian group that says if you leave their particular group, you left God, But hey, thanks for being so honest about it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
If you have any more questions, call us back.
Oh, I wouldn't be interested in that. That's kind of the mark of a high control, group saying we're the only ones, this little small group, from New York. But so I am not really interested. If you're interested,
remember that can be proven, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff, because I could be I could be back in the world before. So
in the world.
A lot of information that were made by ex-Witnesses, like JWFacts and all that stuff. So.
That is such a good website. Do you know why? Because.
Let me tell you about it. But let me tell you first why I know that. You know why? Because I used to write stuff on that. So I know. Now I refute it.
You used to write stuff on JWFacts? What is your name? Could I get your name so I can fact check that?
I don't give names on that, but I used to write the guy's named Grundy. The main guy's named Grundy. I can't remember his name. That's the main guy. But he accepted contributors to his research.
Oh, okay. Could I get your name? Because I'd really like to fact check that.
Okay. Well, I don't give names on that because that's like my past. You know what I mean? That's
what? Okay. Well, I guess you're like the anonymous translators of the New World Translation because no one could fact check your claim.
Well, see, because my past is personal. Like just like if I was to give my other identity parts, of course, I don't give people things like that. But I was a contributor. So like I said, I know everything that goes in those things. I know all the stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. What would you say is wrong on JWFacts? Could you give me 3 examples since it's so wrong?
well, there's a lot of half-truths. There's always a lot of
Uh-huh.
half-truths. You know what I
Like,
mean?
can you give me 3 examples?
Okay, well, three examples, like, for example, one example would be there's stuff that are said about Jehovah's Witnesses. For example, there's quotes, right?
Uh-huh.
There's quotes that have been said, quotes,
Yeah, yeah.
and there is but the other part of it is the other side, the way it's explained. It's only, like I said, it's a half truth, but there's another part that's a lie to it. So you can't trust everything a person writes on a person note. You know what I mean? Because that person is pretty much giving his opinion with a half truth. That's not giving the other
Oh.
truth.
You don't
So
think
like I said,
Watchtower publications misquote their sources?
we'll say it again. What?
You don't think Watchtower publications misquote sources? Like when they made that quotation about the cross in the reasoning book and they put dot
Oh yes,
dot dot,
I've seen it, but it's
that's a
like I tell
misquote.
people, if a person looks for perfection, you're not gonna find it anywhere else on earth. You know what I mean?
Could you Oh, okay. Could you give me 3 examples from JWFacts of half truths? I just
Half
want
truth.
to write
Okay,
them down so maybe I can be helped by that. That would really help
okay.
me.
Well, some of the stuff is
Mhm.
by that, like with this generation. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's about at least 13 quotes from that. 13 quotes from the 1800s. You know, all the way down to up to this time.
Right,
So
because they've changed
so
it so many times to
right,
overlapping
yeah,
now. Yeah.
right,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So since it's all overlapping now, for instance, like from the different point of view from Russell's time. See, everything now is different because things have gotten a little more understood through context. So in the past, things have been understood by adding what I'm looking for by incorporating more context where it has not been incorporated before because the focus has not been there completely. So as time goes by, things get better over time. Understanding
Well,
gets
your
deeper.
new light excuse isn't really saying that doesn't prove JWFacts was telling half truths
Huh?
because they
The what?
weren't they, well, now you're just
Say it
giving
again.
me
Sorry.
the new light excuse. That doesn't have
No,
anything to do with JWFacts giving mistruths. I guess if you interpret it in the light of new light being a legitimate excuse, then I can see where you're coming from, but I'm sorry, that's not a flaw
no.
in his
Wait,
website. Could I ask you another question? Do you feel
sure.
okay? Because you have what's called forced speech, and that's kind of a symptom that you don't feel well.
Oh no,
Um,
I'm okay because we're here in a meeting. That's why. So I'm trying to speed myself up to let you know what I know already. That's why.
oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
just a concern for you about that.
Oh no, I'm good.
Forced
Trust me, I'm good.
speech isn't a very good, symptom in
Oh
your
no, it's people watching right now.
emotional, situation.
Oh no, everything's good. Yeah, trust me. I've been working on this for a long time. So I'm just people coming here, and I'm just like, it's a big crowd. So I'm trying
Could
to
you
get
give
my
me
work
3
experience.
examples of something that's false on JWFacts? Because you haven't given one yet. Because
See one. Okay, let's see. What it's the way it's the information is misrepresented and misquoted at times. So it's given a half truth. There's always a part where that's the
I
other
know
side
you
given
said
to the
that
first
like
side.
5 times now. Could you give me 3 examples? The
Ooh, it's been a while.
generation isn't one, because all those
Uh,
quotes are exactly what they were teaching. They're not
right, yeah.
misquotes. Maybe you don't know what a misquote is.
No, I do know that.
Oh,
Yeah, because
okay.
see, but it's the way it's misrepresented. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because while the quotes
Because of
are
new
there,
light. Yeah.
it's the
Sorry.
person that's
You got to come
presenting
up with a
that's
better one than
writing it.
that.
No, no.
You got
Oh no,
anything
I
else?
can go on. Oh no, I got. Oh yeah, I don't have
Uh-huh.
like I said, I don't have time because a lot of people walking in
Oh.
here and they're looking at me because I have to
Could
rush.
you email
But
me the things that are wrong on JWFacts?
do you have an email?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, one second. Let me get a pen because
Okay.
like I said, I'm trying to rush at the same time. I'm doing 20 things at the same time. Okay, what is it?
The letter D,
D.
Ander, Ander,
Okay. Okay. Say that one
813.
more time.
D,
D.
the
Say it
letter
again.
D is in dog. It doesn't
Uh
matter if
huh.
it's capital. Ander, Ander,
Uh huh.
8132.
81. 81. You said.
8132 at AOL.com.
Okay. DANDER
Uh-huh.
8132. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, trust me, I'm not your ordinary person that you would talk to today on the phone. I've checked out every website before in the past before becoming a witness, so I know exactly what it's all about. Trust me. I mean, not
Yeah.
your question, but I mean, I know what it.
Well, the
I've
generation
done before.
isn't an example of anything he put wrong on there. It's exactly true.
No,
When
I
you
know,
read,
and
I've
that's
read
fine.
from
Yeah,
Russell's books and everything. So
yeah, because
just
I've gone all the way
because
to the
you're
1800s.
something you're saying about New Light does not make Paul Grundy lying on there. It's completely
No,
true
I
because
didn't.
no one else accepts the New Light excuse. But hey, email me and we could talk more.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Okay.
like I said, I've been in the whole thing, the JW crisis and all that stuff. I've seen all. There's nothing that I haven't seen already. I've
Oh,
been there, done that,
great.
like
Okay.
beyond end.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I'm
these are things
especially
that I use
interested in the
that I use in the Bible.
mistakes on JWFacts.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a
So
bunch.
yeah. Okay. Thanks
Okay.
so much. Okay. God
Okay. All
bless.
right. Bye.
See ya.